Afternoon, everyone. I hope you have been enjoying the day so far. I'm super excited today. This is one of our sessions that we had last year. We've brought on our one of our partners that works with a ton of you guys and has done a really awesome job of getting you going with your websites and with your Good Shuffle website integration. So today we do have Garrett here, and he will be talking with y'all about expert tips to improve your website and your Good Shuffle integration. So he's got tons of examples. I'm super excited. You will see some of your own websites featured there. So a little shout out to all of you that have worked with him in the past. And stay tuned here for the end. We do have some promo codes for the website integration. So we'll be giving those out at the end as well. And then Garrett, if you want to hit that next slide.
Sure.
So this is just a quick agenda overview, and then we'll go into the next one and we'll get some introductions going. I'll turn it back over to you to introduce yourself, and then I will pop back in for the Q&A. So as you are all going through it, if you can drop any questions that you have along the way in the Q&A section or in the chat, and I will address all of those at the end. Garrett, if you want to go ahead and get us rolling, I believe our introductions are on the next two slides.
Yep, and I think we got Donato and the attendees with his hand raised if we're able to switch them over to a panel. And I think Donato's in as an attendee. Okay, cool. All right, well, we can get started then. Looks like that's working now, so. All right, but yeah, for a quick introduction to me, we're from Compete Now Web Design. We've been working on websites probably for almost 15 years now, which is crazy work with all different types of businesses. And we first started working with Good Shuffle when one of our clients was switching their website from their old e-commerce platform to Good Shuffle, and we started realizing how in-depth it can get and how customized it can be. And once we worked with a lot of the Good Shuffle team years ago when we did our first integration, just learned a lot more about it and ended up becoming a partner. So we've worked, I think, on probably 50 to 60 different clients' websites over the last few years. So we have a lot of different samples of what we've done, many different types of businesses. There's try to get a wide variety of screenshots showing some of the different work from just a basic integration to some more in-depth landing pages and custom filters and everything that we kind of go through to show you some examples of our work and what you can do with your website, and kind of then just some additional website improvement tips for other things to kind of include.
Amazing. And then Great. Donato, are you able to speak on your side?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Great, yeah. You want to introduce yourself
thank you.
as well?
Yeah, of course. My name is Donato D'Andrea. I'm president of Compete Now. And when working with Good Shuffle clients on the websites, I kind of take a look at the site from higher level, a little bit through the design user experience, thinking through beyond just the Good Shuffle integration. How can we create a website that's going to convert more wish lists and just overall conversions? And I've really enjoyed working with the Good Shuffle clients because it is so different in some ways from different types of rental businesses and inventories, which methods work better than others and how complicated or not complicated they can be, and also which digital marketing programs are more effective for others. So I'm looking forward to listening in today, seeing how Garrett can talk through the better integration tips, and then at the end we'll talk a little bit about the digital marketing. And I was happy to see there's already something in the Q&A about digital marketing, so I'll wait until then to answer that question. But yeah, that's my background.
All right, good to get going over here. So starting off with some mostly just kind of Good Shuffle pieces, design of the integration, and then kind of how you can integrate it with your website, some samples and things to run through. So starting with just some design tips, definitely high quality and consistent images is a big one. that just definitely upscales just the look and feel of the website when the images have all matching backgrounds, similar zoom in, zoom out kind of levels. Everything looks pretty consistent throughout the site, and definitely want to showcase your inventory as best as you can. Then also kind of in those pop-up galleries, having more pictures with the inventory in action from actual events. And I know there's clients with thousands of pieces of inventory, so it can be a big overhaul to really get a lot of good pictures, but that's something you can always just work on improving over time, since with the integration, as you update your images in Good Shuffle, they'll update right to the website. So that's definitely just a nice task to kind of keep up with over time when you do have, not in your busy season, just things to improve upon, is just really working on the images so everything looks great on the website. And then just matching your branding. So getting all the colors customized, using some good colors for call to action buttons throughout it for adding to the wish list and driving people to the integration pages, and custom icons that just kind of match kind of your industry and what's clearest, whether it's a heart or a plus sign, a check mark, or like a cart icon, just kind of doing a little bit of customization there. So we just have a few samples that we'll get through some screenshots of. And then design wise also kind of goes into layout wise, is the organized navigation and just category pages for funneling people into specific areas of your inventory, which is always different depending on what you actually have in your inventory. So starting with just a few images here. So this is just a look and feel for one kind of format with just the bordered layout. So it's kind of like the box format, but having all the consistent images where they're all on a white background, and they're all almost perfectly sized to about the same kind of zoom level to kind of keep it consistent. And then using the brand colors for the buttons for the plus sign, then adding it. So like when you add something to cart, switch that over to a check mark and change the background color, which I think I have a couple samples of in the next couple slides. Different layouts here. This one is more, instead of the white background with the piece on top showing the full image, and this more so shows like the full layout of what like their sleepover rentals would look like, with all the teepees and the full setup, so you can get the whole kind of atmosphere and get the good example of everything in there. And then for a photo that they don't have, they kind of have the photo coming soon in that second from the bottom left one, just so instead of it being just a blank image there, that's something that you can kind of plug in there, which just looks a little nicer than just a blank image. Just another kind of format style where it's still in that grid layout, but just different colors and different treatment on the images. And here, similar with the kind of border layout, just some nice high quality image of the bars here, just a different range. And one thing we did on this site was organizing the inventory by color. So we were able to add in a sorting attribute, so we could kind of group all of the white bars together. Then it kind of goes into the tan, and then it gets into the darker ones, black at the bottom. So it's a nice way to organize the inventory. So there are some options for that. So instead of just having the defaults sorting alphabetically, kind of grouping things together by collections or by color is a nice way to kind of clean up those pages. So that's something you can see here. And at the very top, you can see that top one switching over to black when it's added to the cart. This was a recent one that we're working on now. It's just a very different look and feel that I thought worked well for what they were doing. Instead of having pictures of the actual inventory, what they're doing is offering storage of different pieces of furniture. And since everyone has a different chair, a different bedside table, instead of having like a picture of a bedside table, they created these custom icons and they uploaded that to the images. And I thought it actually worked really well and looked really nice. So just a very different approach that I hadn't really seen before. I just wanted to kind of include that, as it is just shows the versatility of the website integration, where they almost don't even look like the same thing, just where images and then the branding of the colors and the fonts can make it look so different. And you see here, once they're added to their cart, we added the how many are in the wish list there, and the kind of green background with a check mark, just to make it extra clear what people have added in there. And as they add additional ones, that number will change with how many they have in their wish list. And this was almost the minimal style, where we don't actually have the check marks here, where it's just the inventory items on the page with a title, and then you click into it and it'll bring you into all the other details. Just another kind of approach where it's just the title, just the main image, and just on the clean white background with the image with the white background. Just another approach that we've seen done before. And one other one with just some more pictures. And this one is more of a mix of the images. Some are in the white background, some are the full images. So it still looks nice, but just kind of another example of the inventory here on a page with just different fonts, different, instead of borders, you kind of have shadow boxes, a lot of different options that you can kind of do within the layouts here. Just a sample of some different cart icons in the bottom right, because we can customize this to be any icon that you want, or you can make it specific wording. So you can see we have my wish list with the count, another my wish list with a black background, my quote. People have said my carts. We can do just a cart icon or a checklist type icon, and then we have the default heart icon with just the custom color added to it. Definitely some customization that can be done with the icons. And then for organizing the inventory or getting these pages added to your main navigation, this is where we have one sample of kind of keeping it simple from the main rentals dropdown. So we try to keep this one down to anywhere from like 8 to 10 primary categories. And once you get into these pages, there's some different things that you can do with organizing your inventory, so it's just not so overwhelming. This kind of just makes it pretty clear. So when you just hover over rentals, then the user can go into decor packages, furniture, food and beverage, kind of grouping them into those primary categories, which you kind of have as your top level categories in the Good Shuffle backend, and then you have your subcategories under it. So kind of displaying the main categories first. And this is an example, like when you click into decor on that site, it's not just one big page of decor, then it can also be broken down into arches and backdrops and a bunch of different categories as you scroll down. So similar here, like we have for the table would be the main page, and then under that we would have different pages for drinkware, flatware, linens, place settings, serveware. So those are, and then there's a quick navigation right at the top here. So instead of, they could go to the drop down to get into all the pages from one place, and they also have kind of quick link utility nav at the top. So just having that top level category of 8 to 10, and then from there you can break it down to having separate pages or just having the grids on top of each other. So as you scroll down the page, you're finding more inventory, which can help with a little bit of upselling by having all the products on one page. Then when you get down to mobile views, it can be a little bit easier to have things on separate pages, since you can be scrolling for a long time depending on how much inventory you actually have. Another large inventory type site here, like we have the tabletop, we have those broken down to dinner plates, charger plates, glassware. And then on our furniture and decor page, we have these broken into separate sub pages. And then we have an icon for each of those sub pages. So when someone clicks on furniture and decor, then they can choose to go into sofas, lounge chairs, pillows. So that's one of the first things we do when we're starting a new build, is essentially wireframing out these pages and figuring out what that sitemap is going to look like, how we want to organize the inventory with that top level and then that next level page. And here's just a side navigation approach. So we have all the different tabs here on the left. And then when you click into them, it expands and shows more. So you go to the decor page and then break that down into accessories, centerpieces, charger plates. So it's similar as the other ones going across the top, except it's just instead on the left side. And similar approach here with the sidebar, just different style. You can see how they kind of expand and close. And then we actually have a search bar in each of these pages to search within it. And another kind of top level one with a lot of categories. So this is when you get into tents and outdoors, then you can filter it down into tents, tent accessories, heating and cooling, and get into all the subcategories here. And on this one, we actually have it as a sticky nav. So as you scroll down, it'll kind of follow you. So you don't have to then keep scrolling back up to the top to find it. So some of those things are just good to keep in mind for usability on the website, making it as easy as possible for someone to find the inventory that they're looking for, especially if it's a wedding and they need to rent nearly everything with a tent, tables, linens, making it easy to find everything. All right, and this is a category page. So we just have a picture and then click on arcade games, it'll take you into that page. So we like to highlight these on like home pages or just top level pages to kind of have a nice look and feel before they get into the actual inventory. So we have some samples for some other category pages here. Just another approach with different pictures, just kind of having the text underneath instead of overlaid on top. Another one with larger images and this kind of green showing like the hover effect when someone hovers over one of the categories. And this is like a nice feed for the home page that kind of scrolls through them. So you can see 4 and then scroll through them. And then once you get down to mobile, you'll show 1 or 2 at a time. It's just a good way to have those scrolling through instead of having them all listed on the home page, because you have other elements that you typically would want to include there. And just another category page just with a little hover. So this made it nice. So when you're hovering over for the table or furniture, give them a little bit of like a sneak peek of what's inside of there. So you can see drinkware, flatware in here. So when someone's hovering over it, they can see if that's the category that they want to get into. All right, and some of the things kind of tie together here, but some other just general integration website tips. So organizing the content, let's talk a little bit about how we organize that one page by color, those feeds. Some other ways to do it, organizing by collections. So in some areas, like if you have a collection of flatware or glassware or dinnerware, grouping them together by their collection. So then they're all together instead of them being kind of scattered throughout with different dinner plates and bread plates all over the place. So that's where you kind of have the option where you can group things together by type. So for like the dinnerware page, we've had people organize just breaking them up. So dinner plates, then scroll down to salad plates and then bread plates. Or you can organize by collections, like gold rim, or whatever the other collection names would be. So just kind of keeping things grouped together. So then if someone wants to get an entire collection, it's easy for them just to add them all to their cart or wish list right there instead of having to scroll through the pages and find the other pieces. Adding a search feature. So if someone's looking for something very specific, giving them that option. Having complete descriptions on the products is good just to educate someone if they're looking for something specific. Good for some packages. There's some good examples of this that we'll get to. Also good for SEO, since these product pages are actually indexed in Google. So having those descriptions in the products will help rank better for some of your key products. Having custom filters. So it's big on the linens page. We want to offer filtering by fabric or size or color. And we implement those using attributes. So using the new bulk editing feature that Good Shuffle just recently added makes that much easier. If you don't have attributes on your products, now it's much easier to kind of go through and add those in using the bulk editing feature, getting all the colors and everything associated with all the products. And then just some other ways to kind of integrate the wish list on your site, creating seasonal pages. We've seen some clients get a lot of traffic for specific things, like in the winter time or summertime, getting outdoor furniture is like a big page that, or another big search term that someone was getting a lot of clicks for from Google. So having a nice outdoor furniture page prominently on the website during that time of the year, and then kind of rotating what pages you're really highlighting at different times of the year. Having accessories and add-ons, a couple different ways to do that we'll get into, and then featuring products on portfolios and then sharing on social media. So that's always been a good idea, where someone can have a portfolio of pictures from a wedding and kind of show that gallery, and then right underneath using tags to then pull all the products that are shown in those pictures into a feed at the bottom of that portfolio page. Then you can kind of share that on social media, that portfolio, and get people right into building a wish list if they kind of like the pictures that they're seeing in that wedding. And also you can just kind of highlighting that there are direct links to the products. So when you open up a pop-up within the integration on your website, it has a unique URL that you can always send people to directly or share that on social media to highlight specific new products or highlight popular items. You can kind of direct people straight to those pages. So this is kind of that example of organizing by collections. This is the glassware page. Instead of having all the glassware in one big feed, breaking it up by collection. So we have the classic gold rim and then the vintage. So you can kind of see the different pairings, get different glasses that all kind of fit together, just making it as easy as possible for people that go through the inventory and find what they like. And then here's another one where this is broken up by all the dinner plates are together, and then the bread plates and then the salad plates. For the linens category can be pretty gigantic. So just organizing that in a way. So that's where we like to use our filters that I'll show in a minute here, but then also breaking it into easy to find pages like napkins, then getting into your runners, chair covers, and then even breaking up rectangle and round tablecloths into two separate pages. And kind of use that using the shape attributes. You can break those up between two pages. So if someone knows they're going to have round tables, they can almost just immediately filter it down to the linens that are going to fit their tables. And then here's another kind of example of showing the inventory by type. So breaking up side tables, dining tables, farm tables, coffee tables, just breaking them into the separate feeds here. And then also you can have kind of those color ordering here. So all the white ones are at the top, and it gets into the darker ones as you scroll down to group them together. And some examples for adding search into your site. So these are 3 different screenshots. Top left one is just having a search bar right in the top bar in your site. Someone can immediately just start searching for tents or tablecloths, bring them to the search results page. Top right here, we just have a search icon, and when that's clicked, it'll expand the search box so people can search right from any page, but it's a little bit more discreet where it's not the full search bar. And then on a couple other pages, we've added this at the bottom. So someone's still scrolling down the page, kind of have this row here looking for something specific. And this is where then they can put something in if they're searching. It's just something kind of nice to have at the bottom of the page. Someone's scrolling and still hasn't clicked anything, then they can see, oh, I can search for something specific, and they can put that in there. It'll bring them to a search results page. So that's an example of the pop-up search. So you'd have that icon on the top right, click on that, and that's when it would have the search form just appear here. And just the search results page. So if someone search tents, then it's going to pull up the search results, and typically that search will pull up anything in the title or the description. And this is just a good example of a very complete product or package here. So you have the 20 by 20 marquee tent, nice description here, shows you how many square feet, how many people it holds with round tables, how many people it holds with 8-foot banquet tables. Description here, a lot of pictures on the left. So just very nice, a lot of information, a lot of good pictures here for someone's looking at the site. They can really figure out what tent is the right size for them, and it kind of cuts out a little bit of the initial back and forth that you might have with a customer, where they can now, they already, instead of having to ask them several questions, what type of tables they have, how many people they're going to be, then figuring out the tent that they're looking for, they can kind of just self-educate themselves just by looking at the descriptions that you've provided with them and kind of guide them into picking the right one.
And Garrett, one thing I will note on that last slide as well, and this is, something that you'll hear us encouraging you guys to add a ton of pictures. All of these photos down below under that like main photo there, those are all input in Good Shuffle Pro. So you can add a bunch of different setups. And one thing I always recommend is, as your team is going through, they're using that electronic receipt of goods and services. They're, making sure that everything is set up. One other thing that you can have your team do is take a picture of that final setup, send it into your team chat, and now you have it easily accessible to add into your photos. So, with a tech, you might do something like a baby shower, you might do a graduation party, you might also do a wedding, and those all look very different. So this is a great way to not only showcase on your quote, as you guys can, or all of your customers can view that, but they can also view it here on the website. And then that initial picture is going to be the one that's starred. So great way to, again, manage a lot of what your customers are able to see on your website through Good Shuffle Pro. So really great example here.
Yeah, and then also the kind of benefit I talked about with the descriptions being in there. When I searched for just marquee tent, and I just searched for kind of in that area where this client is, it did pull up the exact product detail page. So you can see the description pulling from Good Shuffle. So this product page is ranking for Google searches. So having that description was cool. I just saw that there, and I decided to test it to see if it would pull up, and it was, I think, 3rd or 4th on the organic search results at least. So definitely a benefit for just having the product shown nicely on your website, and then also potentially getting some people finding that on Google as well. Here's a custom filter. So this is for tablecloths, where we can have 3 filters at the top. Some clients will have 1,000 tablecloths, and that's just a lot to scroll through. So having this right at the top allows someone to kind of filter down what they're looking for right from the start, make it easy to find the right tablecloth. So some people might just have a specific color in mind. They can start with the color filter, filter it down to dusty blue, and then they can then see all the different fabrics and sizes you have. Then they could also filter down by polyester, filter down the other fabrics, or someone's starting with a table size and they can start with the sizes, select the 120-inch round. Now they're seeing all the 120-inch round tablecloths you have, then choose the color they're interested in, and just kind of narrow that down to anywhere under 10 different tablecloths instead of having 1,000 to look at. Without having to reload the page or having tons of pages, you can have this filter just update that feed right on the page so they can find the tablecloth that they're looking for. And those are the ones that are using all the attributes. So that does require the products to have those attributes on all of them. So basically having all the colors, all the fabrics, and the sizes added to all the products is why the bulk edit's so good right now. So you can take advantage of those attributes to use these custom filters to kind of enhance the website. And then this is just one other example of a custom filter where they have a furniture page and then filter by product type. And then so you can have different filters with tags, attributes. And in this case, we're just filtering down by subcategories or categories. So someone can just search bars and buffets, and then they'll refresh the page to only show those products on the page. So there's a lot that we can do with these filters just to make the site easier to use for clients finding their products. But number one for us has been with the linens, just because there's so many sizes and colors where that really makes a big difference. And for this one here, this is an example of using the accessories in Good Shuffle. So in this case, we have an excavator that can be added to the wish list. Nice description as well, very in-depth description that's there. And then adding the accessories in Good Shuffle, that's where you can add some optional items that they might be interested in. So this person renting a mini excavator might need one of these chain binder. They've also had like different buckets or hammers that they could be added down there. So it's a nice way to kind of tie in some upsells into there. I'd say the main thing is that the accessories do go under the long description, so they can be a little hard to find. So that's where on some other sites we've also included the accessories and add-ons just right on the page directly instead of just in the pop-up. So that's like where we have the primary feed at the top. And then if you scroll down, you have popular add-ons and pull those into the site. So someone can, in this case, pick their type of sleepover teepee tent rentals that they were doing, then choose some custom add-ons and highlighting those right on the page as well. And another example, just add-ons for casino game rentals. So adding on a bartender, custom chips. So just getting those right on the page instead of having to upsell them later, kind of getting these in front of them so they get some good ideas of the offerings that you have for accessories and add-ons for some of the main rentals. And packages, so just a good example of packages here. We have a lot of lounge packages that I've seen, tent packages, and then also like an entire table setting, just making it really easy for clients to, instead of having to find a nice pairing of plates and flatware and glassware, just offering some popular options where they can just say that's exactly what I'm looking for, and it'll add all of them to the cart. So they'll have all the flatware, dinnerware all put together, a nice pre-designed kind of package. And I like these graphics. They're nice that you'll put together kind of the couch so you can kind of visualize it coming together. So there's some good examples of a package. More just tent packages, just more functional, not necessarily decor package as someone that's just looking for tents, tables, and chairs. So you have your 20 by 20, 20 by 30, the different sizes, and then breaking that out. Okay, this is the size. If you're having 50 guests, you're going to need just specific packages, making it really easy so they can kind of narrow it down which one is right for them, including how many chairs and tables. In this case, they actually put this information right on the thumbnail, so it appears right on the website, and also have that little most popular tag, kind of a cool idea. And that's where you can then have more information in the pop-up with all the other details as well, and more pictures. And some additional packages here. So this is the kind of the casino one. So you have the 3-game, 4-game, 6-game, also with cooler names, Double Down, Winner, Full House. So some different package options there. And then when you open it up, so it'll show how many tables are included, how many guests this accommodates, how many hours, different surcharges that there might be. So just having a lot of good information about the packages there, and just making it easy for people to, instead of having to choose all the games and everything separately, figuring out how many that they might need. This kind of shows you if you have 40 to 55 guests, like if you're before looking at 2 tables, you definitely need the 4 or above. And just some additional website improvement ideas. So this is where I already talked about packages, but just some other things to kind of fit into the website, offering promotions. I've seen clients offer like monthly deals or end of the year deals for just offering a discount, like 10% off for projects signed during the month of December. And then kind of showcasing that on the website with notification bars, pop-ups, just making that clear, just trying to drive people to submit the wish list, creating landing pages for Google Ads and other things. So those will just be, especially those packages that are great for landing pages, just to make it as easy as possible for someone to choose their package and send that over to you. Call to actions to drive people to the wish list. Some of those seasonal pages that would also pair well with Google Ads. So outdoor furniture or holiday rentals, just creating those custom pages and then driving more traffic to it with Google Ads and other marketing on Facebook. We have our notification bars and pop-ups. So just collecting emails on the site, like an exit intent pop-up just to get someone to subscribe to your newsletter before they leave the website. So you're just gaining a nice database of emails over time, so then you can market to them with some of those promotions throughout the year. And then some alternative kind of call to action or lead generator tools, having a live chat tool on your site, and also having a schedule appointment options like Calendly or anything, so people can come into the showroom and check everything out in person if they prefer that versus looking at everything online. Just some people do prefer to come in person, so it's also nice to offer that. So some couple package option here. So this is more for venue rental, where they can choose different venue options, different days of the week, different packages, include different level of chairs or tables. There's a nice row of packages there with the pricing. And then this is just a completely different take on the packages. Instead of just having them listed on the page, it's more of a table format where you can kind of have a direct comparison of what's included with each package. And then at the bottom, that's where you can then display the Good Shuffle products for someone to add to their wish list, but just giving them the kind of table comparison chart type view, just to display the packages as well. That's a cool idea. We have like the featured game option. So something on the homepage, you can just feature new games, then bring them right into the product in Good Shuffle to add it to their wish list. And if you do add something like this to the site, just good to update that frequently. So it's always a new game or a different feature game every 2 or 3 months or so.
Good. I do want to highlight, we've got about 20 minutes left here. And I know Donato is going to be talking about some additional examples of ways that you can, bring in some of that more marketing and SEO and everything. We want to move on to that. I know we've got some
I'll get through
questions here.
This fast then. This is just a new inventory page example. If someone likes to, you can highlight your newest inventory to keep everything fresh. Here's just a pop-up example for signing up for that newsletter that you can trigger when someone goes to either first 10 seconds from the page or before they leave, try to collect their email. Live chat example. So we have one on the left that is connected right with Facebook Messenger. And then the one from our site with Donato on there that connects with our HubSpot. So just connecting that on your website with whatever you prefer. And then just some call to action button examples. So build a wish list or visit our showroom, schedule an appointment, building a wish list, and some more build a wish list buttons, and also highlighting the phone number if you do want people calling you frequently. So it's just depending on what is right for your business, having those buttons very visible on the site. And then just some homepage examples, getting people right into the rentals, getting in touch on the top right, just funneling them straight into the 3 different pages, equipment, wedding, or events. And then this is a cool one just for educating users on how the process works, add kind of a how it works graphic, add items to your cart, enter event details, submit your quote, or review your order. Similar idea here. And then another one kind of going through the 4 steps. And then just some other website ideas, just incorporating frequently asked questions on landing pages, having an FAQs page, pretty highly visited. Having nice galleries of images. And if you don't want to update the gallery frequently, but your Instagram is great, just incorporating that directly with the website to pull those into the homepage as a carousel or a whole gallery page with a grid of them. And then we can take a look at some of the SEO and other items.
All right. Is this your screen, Garrett?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to, maybe I'll just share mine just so I can switch and we'll try to go through them fast. Let's see all right, yeah, so typically what happens after you have a fully optimized, integrated Good Shuffle website that might have even been redesigned, then we start looking towards next steps and how do we drive more traffic to that website for people in your market. So we'll try to get this wrapped up by 1:50 or so we have 10 minutes and there's some questions coming through. We have helped some Good Shuffle clients and many actually at this point in the past using some different digital marketing methods. There's paid media channels and also search engine optimization. So just give you a little bit of feedback on those. The Google ads and Google display ads are a couple different areas on Google that you can sponsor certain types of keyword searches so that your products will come up higher in the list. We found that the Google ads work particularly well for tent rental, arcade rentals, casino, party rental type of things, kind of the types of things where consumers can do a little bit of self-shopping or they're searching for things pretty close to when they have to make a decision. We've definitely seen that the decor and other areas have been a little more challenging just because people are window shopping and it's very hard to go from, one click, on the website to a conversion, hoping that somebody will just happen to see something on the page that they want to book. So that's where the Facebook ads and meta ads and Instagram kind of come in, where you're pushing your products and your unique offerings out in front of a wider audience, and drawing them into your website and then nurturing them through the process. Whereas the Google ads is really designed to be a high intent traffic method. It's just hard to get some of those high intent people through the decor and generic wedding rental terms sometimes with Google ads. And for some industries, it'd still be a good combination of the two. I know that was a question that I could cover quickly. And you can add pixel tracking or retargeting based on visitor interaction. You probably could also retarget down to the specific inventory item on your website, although a lot of the Good Shuffle clients we've worked with, they don't get as much traffic to individual items to make that worthwhile. So usually what we'll do for retargeting back, we're usually doing more so banner ads that are either tied back to the category the user was visiting or just bringing people back to the website in general. So if they were out there searching and they know they need to rent these items, let's remarket back to them so that when they're on Facebook, when they're on Instagram, when they're on just different websites online, you're kind of following them around to some extent. And it's not spammy or annoying because they do have that need, and hopefully they just haven't found the right vendor yet. And when we're trying to bring them back to the website to get that built off. And then for search engine optimization, adding in more of the product descriptions is really useful. That'll make it so that Google indexes those products a lot more reliably. Frequently asked questions are helpful to get more content onto the website, and also creating service area pages. So those are pages that might be for surrounding towns or markets that you're not really physically located in, because you can rank well in your own town or city. But if you're looking to branch out beyond that, creating individual pages that are high quality content for those areas is very beneficial. So that's what we recommend for those. And a lot of the times with the SEO, that usually would involve adding a blog to your website and blogging about different research topics that your target market is going to be Googling for, best party ideas. There's one that we're doing now, like, high school graduation party ideas. And the blog is mostly focused on why a casino theme party is a great idea, but it's just bringing that research traffic back to the website. And a lot of that great content can be repurposed into your Facebook and Instagram ad strategy campaign. So it's good. That's why SEO and the pay-per-click can work off of each other really well if it's done right. All the while, after you got this integration created, you will want to take a look and review your Google Analytics and just basic user behavior and heat maps on the website to make changes and continue optimizing. That's where you're going to go and see which pages and categories are getting most traffic, using Google Search Console to see which keywords are getting you the best placement. That'll give you an idea of how you want to rename some of the products and areas, images to get more traffic. And heat mapping. This is an example of a basic Google Search Console report. So it shows how much traffic is coming from the website, where they located, which devices are they on, and then which pages are most prominent. And then if I go here, you can see the breakdown of what comes from organic, direct, or from other websites. And this is a pretty useful one in the back end. This is this can show what searches are kind of coming through the webs, bringing people to the website. And I don't think we have this on here, Garrett. Here it is. This is a really useful one that a lot of clients like to use. This is a way that you can see what people are searching the website for. So Garrett showed a lot of those examples showing what are people typing into the website search boxes. And then based on that, you can make some changes to your tags and your Good Shuffle inventory to make sure the correct products are coming up for those different searches if they aren't already. This is an example of a heat map. So when you get it basically creates full page screenshots of your website pages, and you can look at it on a page by page basis and get a feel for where people are clicking on your pages and make some decisions on, are the right products in the top if those are the ones that get the most clicks and the most views. That's where this shows that. Kind of shows you at what point of the page, and this is especially important for inventory pages, it gives you a very clear idea of, okay, once people get to about this point of the page, nobody else is going further than that. So if a lot of your most popular items are lower down the page, then you want to get those filtered back up to the top. Or that's when you might consider, okay, this section has too many this section has too many items on it. And how can we break that into more sub pages to get people to what they're looking for more quickly? Because that's one of the biggest drop off points, is somebody spends however much time, a minute or two, trying to find what they're looking for, and they just come to the conclusion that your website doesn't have it, and it might have it, and they move on to the next one. So it's definitely all about getting people to the right inventory quickly so that they'll add it to their wish list and become a lead in the system. All right, so we got through those slides pretty quickly, trying to make room for some of the Q&A at the end. And yeah, I think we could just go through the chat if needed. I think there was a few questions over the course of it too.
Yeah, and just as a reminder, if you guys will send that in, specifically the Q&A, and I did get some questions on the back end for like just to hosts and panelists, so I'll read those as well. And we'll go through these questions, and as a reminder, stay tuned. I will put that code up again. So if you guys are looking to get started with your website integration, we do have a code for a free month. So if you've not tried it before, you're looking to, get started here, perfect, thank you. And, test it out, start working with Garrett and Donato here. You do have that option, or if you've already got it and you're looking to move that into an annual subscription, save some money there, we've got that for an annual website subscription as well as your annual core account. So first question, Donato, are you seeing that Q&A screen? We do have a couple here from Brenton.
Yeah, so that was one about the retargeting based on traffic, and you can retarget. You can install the pixel and it will carry through the whole website, and you can target the URLs of the products you want to retarget. And to make it easier though, sometimes we'll set it up so that you can retarget based off a category or just back to the business in general. Because as far as I know, I don't think it's not like Shopify where you can put the entire Good Shuffle inventory or product catalog into a Facebook ads or Meta ads account. But you can still retarget back based on pretty closely what the users are looking for, at least at a category level, to bring them back.
Awesome. And then I can take that second one as far as the GIF on there. So it's not going to show a GIF, it's just going to pass a single image onto the website, so it won't be playable there. And that's just, functionality, Brenton, from like as far as what can be passed over there. So it will just be the single image. And then Donato, we've got another question here from Grover. How do you target corporate versus non-corporate events?
Yeah, it kind of depends a little bit on which channel you're using. LinkedIn advertising could be an effective way to really specifically target a corporate audience if you're able to drill down the job titles close enough. For Google Ads, what we've done is they do have a custom audience that you can target on Google. That's a corporate event planning or corporate audience, so that if you're targeting people Googling for rentals related to your industry, you can target an audience group that has been set by Google to be in that market. So that's another way to kind of get a little bit closer to the corporate level terms.
Awesome. And as a note for everyone, I did just drop Garrett's Calendly link there. So, as you can see, there's a ton of different parts of our industry that the Compete Now team has worked with. So tons of examples, tons of different types of businesses. So I would encourage you to, if you're thinking about taking that next step, I encourage you to book there. And I'll also drop the website link here again before we close out. I have a question in chat here. Can we see the analytics and user behavior slide again for a moment? Donato, if you could click back to that.
Yeah.
And then we've got a question for you here. We can do marketplace ads on Facebook or Google with Good Shuffle for local audiences. And that's in the webinar chat.
Okay. We can do marketplace ads on Facebook or Google for local audience. I'm not sure I understand the wording of that question, but I'm going to say yes. You can run marketplace ads on Facebook. I haven't run them on Google, but I just know that when you run a Facebook ad, you can choose to have the ads show up in the Facebook Marketplace as one of the placements.
And then Esteban, if you want to put some more words to that, we're happy to dive a little bit deeper into that if that didn't fully answer your question. Another one that I've got for y'all here, the drop-down filter option that you showed before was a custom code that pulled Good Shuffle attributes, not built into Good Shuffle. That's correct. If you guys want to speak on that a little bit more, I've seen some really awesome examples of different drop-downs that you guys have done.
Yeah, so that's a custom script that we've built for some of the Good Shuffle feeds, and it's basically an element on that we have to add to the website that needs to basically use the same values that are used in Good Shuffle, and it essentially just updates the feed on the page with those attributes. So that's why it's extra important to make sure all the colors you have in Good Shuffle kind of need to match on the website, so there's nothing missing there since it doesn't update automatically. But it is just like a custom element on the page, updates the feed, and as long as we're using the same values, everything works perfectly. For I think we've done up to 3 so far with the colors, fabrics, sizes.
Awesome. Yeah, so there's and this actually works really closely with our next question. So as you guys can see, there's a lot that this team can do to really, fully customize this and maximize your website integration. So for either of you, when should I make the decision to hire a developer versus doing DIY? What is that line?
You should always know. I'll let Garrett see what your thoughts are. I think you've worked more so with the, kind of building off of DIY.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I initially started. I was just given by our existing client when we first started working on it. Like, I'm trying to integrate with this Good Shuffle thing. Like, here's my login. Good luck. And at first, it just seemed like it was just the plain, that main Good Shuffle integration page with all the categories on the left, and you have to click through them. But then there are a lot more flexible options built into there to be able to create your own custom pages based on those tags, based on those custom filters. I think if you only need a few basic pages, that's definitely doable. To just kind of use the Good Shuffle plugin on Squarespace or WordPress and be able to just create some basic page with your inventory. When you want to kind of take all the custom styling to match your branding and use custom icons and then building custom filters, that's where it gets a little bit more development heavy to kind of create those more advanced pages. Add in that additional functionality is, I think, where it's easy to set up originally, but I think it is a little bit of, once you get to that level, you need to be a little bit more familiar with some initial code to kind of set up that more advanced setup.
Yeah, one thing to add on to it and do it yourself is if you have an existing website that's not with a Good Shuffle and you're switching to Good Shuffle, it's definitely good to really be careful and have somebody consult. Or one thing to think about, we've seen some clients would launch the Good Shuffle on their own, and then they just simply delete all of the products that were on their website that weren't Good Shuffle, and then they don't set up proper forwarding redirects so that those products forward to the locations for Good Shuffle, and that can create a really major issues for search engine optimization. So not really a development thing, but something that's just a best practice so that you don't inadvertently affect the traffic to the website or the rankings of your pages.
Yeah, that's been especially if someone's switching from like another software over to Good Shuffle and all the URLs to all the products or the categories all change. That's when you just want to make sure that the old links will then redirect to the new links, so there's no issues where you don't lose any SEO ranking you did have on those old pages.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's a really good tip for all of our newer users out here. And one thing that I really want to highlight is, Garrett mentioned that you can start with the basic integration on your own. It's super easy to get that initial gallery page up from your side with not a lot of coding experience. And one of the things that I am so proud to have seen from a lot of our users is, the growth that y'all are experiencing, with the website integration and in your business. So, maybe you're just starting out of your garage and you get it up on your website, and then little by little, you can work with the Compete Now team to continue doing, pieces of work here and there to really maximize your site. It's not always an all or nothing. So, make sure that, you're available to, like, if you want, you can start small. It doesn't have to be perfect right out the gate, but they are absolutely here to keep going and adjusting that for you. And then we've got two last questions here from Grover. Donato, do you want to answer live the question about Bing ads here?
Yeah, so the answer live. So the Bing ads, we haven't run them recently, but they are really easy. Once you're running a successful Google ad campaign, you can import them into Bing. We just haven't done it a lot recently. We had in the past when we reached like a saturation in a market, but for the most part, we're just sticking with the Google ads lately, just because there's not so many people that are seemingly using the Bing search.
Awesome. And then we've got 1 minute here left. And Donato, if you can click into that last slide, just so our users can see those promo codes. Of course, you guys will have access if you need to, ask in the chat. Our team's happy to provide those to you there. We'll also, send these out. And one thing that I do want to send before we close out. So again, here is the link for the Compete Now page. So you guys, can go ahead and take a look at their website, their landing page, take a look at, all these great examples that we've seen here on our session today. And then feel free to reach out and book some time there. And yeah, thank you guys so much. This is again one of our users' favorite sessions every year. So we really appreciate it. And we do have our next session about to start, and it's hiring, staffing, and paying your sales team. So if everyone wants to go join that in the lobby, I would love to see you continue on there. Thanks again, you guys.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye.